G'day everyone, this is Nick Bowditch from the Bowditch Group. Today I just really quickly want to go through some of the sections of the Facebook page and the settings for each page which you may not be getting the most out of. So you can see here this is the Bowditch Group's Facebook page, obviously. There's a couple of things I want to point out just on the page before we look in the back end. The first thing is this image. Now, a lot of people underutilize this space by just having the kind of passport size or standard image there of their logo or their staff or themselves or whatever it might be. You can actually use up to 200 across and 600 pixels down in the graphic there, which is kind of all of that space. And I suggest you do use a lot of it because you know, it really makes a nice sort of punchy impact when there's something really attractive there, or you know, you can do some selling straight from there too, include a call to action, whatever it might be. We actually use it by renting out that space, the page of the week we call it, so that goes out to people who would like to make the most of having almost 3,000 people look at the page, and they're allowed to include a call to action or whatever they'd like in there. So that might be something you can do too with your reps or suppliers or clients or friends or whatever it might be. The other thing across here is the film strip of the images which are in the back end of your website. So anything uploaded to your website goes up here. You can hide things and show things here, but these are the 5 that I tend to keep all the time. And you can see even if I refresh that page, it's the same 5 just in different order. So because I really want people to know that I can help them with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or RSS information or queries. But you might be able to use, you know, your 5 product shots there, or 5 pictures of your staff, or your, I don't know, whatever. You know, try to think a little bit outside the box there, and use that space again. Try to use it for as much as you can. The other thing is these ones down here. So they're the featured pages, which we'll talk about in a second as well. But you can actually use that space as a bit of a commercial means as well. Let's have a look in the back end. So you go up the top right hand corner there, click on edit page, and the first one you come to is this. I'm just going to skip back one. So click on your settings, and in this you have 2 options. The first is relatively recently Facebook changed the setup so that you could choose to comment on other pages as your page or as yourself, as a human. So since they did that, it meant a little bit of change in this as well, whereas if you're the admin of a page, whenever you write on that page, traditionally you were writing as if you were writing from the page, not from yourself. So if you go out to here now and you uncheck this box, then it means I can comment on the Bowditch Group's Facebook page, as Nick Bowditch rather than as the Bowditch Group, and that's sometimes handy if you have to reply to people, or if you want to, you know, make a point or pull someone up, or just give a little bit of personalization to your brand, I guess. So that's the first thing. The second thing is send notifications to your email address when people post or comment on your page. Now that kind of drives me a bit nuts, and I often think about unchecking it, but I just don't want to miss anything. So if that's not driving you too mad, just leave that checked. This one here, view all email settings for your pages. If you click on that, it'll show you, you know, you can actually customize that further by, you know, when you get something from groups, you know, you can choose to get that or not get it, or as an email or whatever, as for all of the other sections as well. The next thing I want to show you is the first tab that it landed on, which was manage permissions. And there's a few things in here which I think are important. The first one is this, age restrictions. So you can set, you might have content that's not particularly appropriate for younger people. Then, you know, you might have something alcohol related or whatever it might be. You can actually set it so that some people of a certain age can't see it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this, the wall tab shows. Now you have 2 options here. That your wall tab shows all posts or only the posts that you've made, or that one of the admins on your page makes. A lot of people have it still set at only things outgoing from the page, and I think it's a real lost opportunity because you're not really showing that you're engaged with your community if you can't give them an opportunity to engage with you by posting something on your wall. So yeah, some of the brands we look after have decided to not have that option, but I encourage them all to let the people speak, and then you decide after that. The next thing down is the default landing tab. So we have that set to our Start Here tab, but you can see here that you can have it set to anywhere. Now this basically means this is the first tab that people land on if they haven't clicked on like before, or whatever, like the first visit to your page. So we send people to a custom tab, which is called Start Here, with some info and a bit of a fan gate, which means there's a little device there that we encourage people to click on like to get you know, exclusive fan only content type thing, and that works quite well in getting your like numbers up, but also in providing that sense of exclusivity for them as well. So if you don't have that though, you know, I wouldn't hardly ever would I recommend sending anyone to your info page, because it's fairly boring and dry. Your photos might be a big part of it, you might send them there, but I think otherwise, if you didn't have a custom tab, you might just send them straight to the wall. The next bit down here, users can write or post content on the wall. I don't know why anyone wouldn't have that clicked. I want them to write things even if they're a bit, you know, negative or unsavory, because I can actually engage them in that place in front of everyone, and I think that's important. I want people to upload photos, and I think most brands, or you know, like certainly if you've got fast moving consumer goods or something like that, you know, I think you want people a picture of them enjoying your cola or whatever it might be. So I would always do that, and I'd always let them add videos. I choose to uncheck this, which is users can add tags to photos, only because I think there's a possibility there, a potential there for people to hijack your page and your numbers, and I don't want people doing that, so I leave that dry. Here you can take out some words and terms, so if anyone uses those words and terms, it gets sent through to spam. And then the profanity block list you can change here too. Now, keep in mind, some things, if you set this to medium or strong, that is as far as like a USA level is set at. So while some cultures have a relative greater tolerance to some swear words, I guess, or some curse words, some others don't. So just keep that in mind. I just set it to none because, you know, I'm just like that. So that's all I would change there, and then click on Save Changes to make any changes. The basic information, again, you know, this is kind of how people would search on you through here, like through the Facebook platform. So it's important that you have, you know, some content here with some of your keywords, as you can see I do here, and where I am, and so on, about page. You can see I could do a whole lot better here, and maybe now I will, that I've shamed myself, but there you go. And you know, the website and email and phone number and so on. But that basically makes up the information that's on the info tab. The profile picture section, as I said, is our page of the week, and it has been running for a little while because it's a good little money spinner for us. But it might just be, you know, a graphic that you can get done or that you can do yourself in, you know, something free. And if you need any information on that, please let me know, and I'll share some of those with you. The important thing about this is when you use a 200 by 600, that's going to be difficult to make into a thumbnail every time you post. And so what it does is Facebook just chooses a section of that graphic to use. So I want to be a bit more specific than that. So I click down here on Edit Thumbnail, and it shows you here, and you can drag the whole thing to, well, you know, if you just wanted that, or if you just wanted the logo of the brand that I was supporting that week or whatever. But I keep it there just to show that it is a page of the week. You know, you can actually click on here and it scales the whole thing to fit, which at 200 to 600 looks horrible. So I would never do that. Actually, I would hardly ever do that anyway. And that's it. And then click Save. Yeah. Now, in the next section down, now this is starting to get, you remember I said where the featured pages were on the bottom left of that sidebar? This is how you change that. So when you like a page as your page, then you can choose who you want to feature, and you just click on there, and then you can feature whoever you want it to be down there. Likewise, page owners, although I keep that empty because, yeah, I just don't want any links going to my personal profile on Facebook, that's all. The resources one is really handy. There's some really good stuff here in terms of just sort of information and updates and back-end help with a lot of things. But the important parts of this, I guess, is, you know, best practices and all that sort of stuff, how to do things, how to select a username. Now, that refers to up here. Because we're in the back end, it's a different one, but the custom URL for this page is www.facebook.com/thebowditchgroup. Now, to change that to a custom URL like that, which looks much better on, you know, email addresses and business cards and offline things, as well as online too, you need 25 fans to change that. Once it's changed, though, it's pretty much permanent, so you can't change it back. So just check the spelling that one last time, I guess is a good idea, and then yeah, and you can change it to whatever you like as long as somebody else doesn't have it. The other thing is send an update. If you want to send an update out to your entire fan base at one time, then you can do it using that, which is handy. The Manage Admins section. Now you can see I'm the only admin of this page, but if I wanted anybody else to be, and they were my friend on Facebook, I can start to type their name in here, and it would pick them out. Yeah, that's an easy thing to do, but once they are an admin, remember they see everything and they're able to update anything on your page, and they're also able to remove you as an admin. So disgruntled employees perhaps or something like that might be interested. Applications. Now this is important too because as you can see I have a lot, but they don't all feature. The ones that feature generally are these ones at the top. One of my bugbears is how many people have discussions on their left sidebar of their page but no discussions, and it just looks awful. Just remove it or use it, one of the two. But one interesting thing is if you use something in an app like Static HTML, which is just an app which we used for the fan gating, so that's the custom tab, and you click on Edit Settings, in here you can make that whatever you like. So that could say welcome or start here or whatever. So that's actually really engaging and really quite a nice trick. But on the standard Facebook ones, you can't. You can only add and remove them. Okay, you can't actually change them up. Mobile is how things look on your mobile and how you can do different things. This is actually really handy, and it's something if you have an iPhone or a smartphone and you're using the Facebook icon. It's actually really annoying to have to find your page. If you have to update your page on your phone and you're out of the office or whatever. Excuse me. So this is a really good little few sentences to read that's going to make that a lot easier. And I only did that sort of the other day, and I wish I'd found that a long time ago. Now, this is one of the most important things, particularly if you're a professional service or you're looking after a brand, or you want some, or you're a nerdy analytics kind of guy like I am. This is the insights, which is basically the back end of the page and the reporting, something like Google Analytics or something like that. So this first page, the overview, is pretty dry. It doesn't really help you all that much. This is in this section, so it's about a month almost. We've got 35 new likers, which is actually down. Lifetime likes, so that's how many people are fans of the page right now. How many people are actively using the page in the last month? So that's still pretty good, although it's 40% down. So that's, commenting on or interacting with or liking or liking comments or whatever it might be. Then you go down to here, and this is the post views, so 21,805 actual post views, and then how many of those there's been feedback on. So that's not too bad either, and it really depends on how engaging your content is. But this, if you click up here on users, this is actually the where it gets really nitty gritty, and it's quite handy. Same here, or more or less, but a bit more graphically displayed. You can see here somewhere around the 20th of July, I must have done something pretty good because it gained a few extra people. But yeah, and then down here is the demographic breakdown by age and gender, which is really handy if you're particularly targeting a certain age group and they're not represented, or they are overly represented, or whatever it might be. It's a great sort of breakdown to know, as is this. So I have a kind of international business doing some international speaking and stuff like that. So I have people from all over the world, but then you can see where they're mostly at and what language they speak. So that could be really handy too. If you have a whole lot of Spanish speakers, then maybe you should do every few updates, or every update once in a blue moon in Spanish, and just for kicks, and see if anyone actually responds back out of that. Likewise, the activity, where the activity's coming from, and then the external referrals. So you can see I got massive four refers from Google. Thanks, guys. And that's it. And then the interactions is, as I said again, which stories have been interacted on, so which ones have been liked and commented on, and which ones had the most impressions. And you can sort this by, if you click on which one it is, and it shows you which post was that. And that's good just to kind of get feedback on what you're doing right, or perhaps what you're doing wrong. So yeah, that's the back end of the page, and then there's lots of other things you can do in terms of asking questions and using different applications on the front of the page, but I might leave that for later. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to work out how to do one of two things, either just tidy up your page and get a bit more out of it, we can help you with that, and also we can help you, don't forget, with our new product, which is embedding your website in your Facebook page, which has proven to be a real find and a really handy thing. So let me know if you're interested in that. That is very, very economical. It's about $300 to set up, and then $40 or $50 a month after that just to host it. So it's really, really economical and great for local marketing. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. Ring the office on 02 8919 4191, or you can email inquiries@thebowditchgroup.com. Okay, until next time, thanks a lot for your attention, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.